some of that come to affect this pick and ban phase.
Yeah, I gotta say, Ninja has probably one of the worst names for his playstyle, right? When he's extremely, extremely brazen. To actually add on to that, Svenskeren's name actually means Swede in Danish, and he's Danish. So, question mark?
Aha, misleading.
So that's we got some people on both sides who are being weird. Bands coming out, Gangplank, Trundle, Talia.
Yeah, so a first ban Trundle, or a first ban Gangplank to me signals that they are actually trying to open up maybe a Shen pick up here on the top, because Gangplank is very good into Shen, and it's not one of the first bans that we usually see on blue side coming out. Trundle also being taken away signals some top lane focus here for TSM, and maybe they do want some extra global pressure with an early Shen pickup. Oh yeah, Sivir, you never want to give that away. She is ridiculous right now, so I actually do think TSM are heading that way.
I really actually like how both teams have approached the ban phases. You talk about Ninja having such a wide champion pool, so many things he wants to play. So by banning out the sort of the common mid laners, he's like, let's go play different things, which Ninja's like super comfortable with, and Bjergsen generally a little bit more refined in what he's going to go for. So I think that can make some sense. Meanwhile, the Sivir ban.
Not gonna let Malzahar get out of our hands again.
That is an important one. So that's a forced first pick, which again you can see why that Sivir ban lines up is to ensure they get a safe mid lane pick.
The other thing that was pinched a little bit here is the jungle pool, as Rek'Sai was banned away, and Rek'Sai in North America has been the premier jungle. Most other regions really still have a high priority on Nidalee. And Proxen is one of those really good Nidalee players as well. Can have the early pressure, can get out to a huge farm lead. So maybe Envy want to go that way.
Yeah.
Svenskeren, though, he'll go right back to that Gragas. So we've seen time and time again.
Nidalee and Gragas are the two ones that jump to mind right now as high priority junglers. And Nidalee's been going down somewhat in favor. Gragas has been really far up there. We'll see if he goes for it.
Yes. The other thing is that it's pretty funny. People are talking about TSM not adapting to mid lane meta. It's on Twitter, Bjergsen was the night before when LCK was playing, was asking, oh, what patch is this on? I'm very curious as to how the mid lane meta will develop. And Malzahar, they kind of underestimated the strength of him a little bit, but he's very easy to play. So especially Bjergsen, high skill player, I think it should be very easy for him to pick up quickly. And it looks like they will be doing that. On the other side, though, Sivir is banned out. So after Sivir is banned out, kind of drops down to that Ashe, Jhin, and Lucian tier. Envy taking the engage for their bottom lane.
Suddenly, all of TSM is instantly tilted upon seeing Rengar and Champ Select.
How funny would it be if they just drafted P1 comp?
Dude, they should. It'd be great.
Today.
Well, double cats right now, Rengar and Nidalee the Hover. I think Nidalee is probably pretty likely for Svenskeren to play at this point. But it's interesting, actually, the fact that we're seeing Karma prioritized very highly, because you talk about the mid lane meta, the support meta, I think shifts up a little bit with Sona, for example, being much stronger in this patch. Seems neither team cares about that, though, and she will go unpicked in this one.
The thing is that Karma has been Envy's highest win rate champion. They flex it very often between mid and support. And they've been very, very willing to first pick that in many of their games. And the reason I mentioned Nidalee first, by the way, is because, yes, Gragas is still good, Gragas is up, but the Nidalee specifically versus Gragas just adds to the strength of that Nidalee does have in the early game and being able to take over the jungle. TSM, they have this playstyle of trying to push up multiple lanes, and if you have either mid and bottom or mid and top, then they try and move in and counter jungle on that side of the map. And Nidalee is the perfect champion to do that with.
I really like this draft right now by Envy. We talk about Ninja can play basically any champion in the game. I think Anivia is so good into Malzahar. So Anivia slightly outranges what's otherwise a mid-range mage in Malzahar. Also, she's not only full of dots to turn off his passive, but also her best form of CC, the Crystallized Wall, is immune to Malzahar's passive. You just block him off, and he's screwed anyway. The CC, the 1 second immunity doesn't matter. So I love a lot of the Anivia interactions into that Malzahar.
Plus, Anivia, can kind of neutralize one of Malzahar's biggest strengths, which is the pushing from afar and pushing from safety. Anivia can handle that pushing pretty well. We'll check in on the early stages, though, the early few levels of that lane, and see how they are affected. Everybody's on that Rengar hovering here, but hey, I was right. It took all the way to the last round of the picks, Freak, but there's the Shen. Saw it coming.
You called it out right, Kobe.
They are going to pull that one off.
Yeah, so good for them. Good job, Kobe. Good job getting the champion right. But I think, yeah, as everyone's hovering the Rengar, I think the question everyone will eventually ask their children is, you know, when were you when TSM was kill? And
well, that could be many things. That could be Cassiopeia top of MSI.
That's true. That's true.
Mean, which iteration of TSM?
I suppose it's a fair point, but either way, that was definitely a really hype match. A lot of people loved being a part of that one. And the final pick will actually be Fiora for the top lane. Hecarim will be in the jungle here. Smart of Envy to get counter picks on both their solo lanes. I like both their matchups. Fiora got some small buffs as well in 6.14. The total or the bonus AD ratio on her Q is higher at earlier rank, so her levels 1 through 8 are a little bit stronger before it equals out to what it was before.
They're definitely all early game buffs, but they are significant. I mean, she heals for more on the vitals, plus does more damage. So all around just stronger lane, straight up numerical buffs there. And I'm a pretty big fan of the Hecarim jungle. Very, very strong in solo queue right now, and a lot of teams have been using it in competitive play as well, especially like LPL and stuff. So we'll see what Proxen can do on this champion, because Nidalee also has clear speed advantage over Hecarim.
Yeah, definitely agree. So this is going to be a fun one. Gragas not going to be picked up after all, but it's Svenskeren on a hard farm, and he's going to hope for his sake that he can kind of keep the Hecarim pinned down, because Hecarim eventually becomes incredibly scary at level 6, and we're getting ourselves now into game 1 of the match. So get on Twitter and share your thoughts about this series. Weigh in using hashtag TSM win or hashtag NV win for which squad it's going to be. TSM, they suffered a rough loss just yesterday afternoon, and Envy hoping they can finally turn their season back around to how good they were when they started. Well, this looks like a good thing for Envy, though. They've got Seraph on a nice split pusher, Ninja using his champion pool, and they could be ready to go and take another loss to TSM in as many days. Here we go with game 1.
Yeah, everybody got super hyped up for the TSM loss yesterday just because it's so unexpected. But I find it really funny whenever the conversation does come up of, oh yeah, top team was on this huge winning streak, but a loss is good for us. You know, it'll reset the mindset.
Right.
It's funny because every single top team is always like, oh yeah, you know, we know we're not going to underestimate any team. We're not going to get overconfident. And those are types of things that you can continue to reiterate and verbalize, and everyone's going to tell you, and they're pretty obvious, and everyone thinks those. But, well, we'll wait for this actually to time out. That's going to be
exhaust damage. Hakuho flashes, and he's going to get himself away, burning 1 summoner for actually 0. TSM didn't use any of theirs in the rest of that push.
They opted to save their summoners, and not try and chase down the first blood money, and save their summoners instead and just use that advantage. I mean, you do get a lot less experience for early kills. The gold is still very, very valuable, though.
Would have been 500 total if they got it this early, but well, Hakuho gets away, but it's now a flashless Karma, which means Envy's going to hope that they're on a lane swap, because being down a summoner won't matter if you're not facing anyone. And we'll see if that ends up being the case. Looks like we have a 2-on-2 advantage TSM in some way.
I mean, yeah, Karma doesn't have her flash, but it still is a 2-on-2 lane where it's 2 range versus 1 range, 1 melee.
I think they can survive it, though, because if Biofrost gets like a Q flash, the stun means a Doublelift trap hits. It means they can maybe kill off the Karma.
Oh,
I think with the gank.
The kill pressure is definitely there.
Yeah.
Especially with the extra damage that Nidalee can bring, since, you know, as you say, Biofrost can provide the slow and eventual stun from the passive. But if they keep their warding up, Envy should be able to handle this lane just fine.
Both duos take their respective jungle camp. Perfect CS across the board. They all got the 3 melees, and the AD carries level 2.
And my favorite part of standard lanes, Freak, tracking the junglers. Both of them should know that the other one started on the top side, even though that is abnormal for Hecarim, because Hecarim likes to get that blue buff really early for very quick clears. And Proxen will be going there next, as he cannot clear any other camps after the first 2 without getting some extra mana. But since they saw the top laners a little bit late to lane, they know that the other one leashed up there. And so now it's up to the mind games of, do you think they're hard clearing all the small camps as well, or going for some early pressure? Because bottom lane's pushed up so far. Yeah, this is exciting, but look at the mini-map, because bottom lane's pushed up so far that the advantage here, Biofrost moving in to try and contest.
Svenskeren, yeah, he tried to be scary. Nothing quite happened there on that one. The blue buff went over securely to Proxen.
Yeah, and that is that importance of blue buff for Hecarim. If they were able to steal that away, or even able to, you know, force it onto someone else, that would have really hurt Proxen's early jungling. But he's able to get it, and Envy escape without too much harm done.
Yeah.
Now he goes mid lane. Let's take a look.
With the ghost, the wall comes in. Bjergsen is not going to get away from anything just yet. Knocked around, takes some damage, but knows he got away from the stun. So all he loses is some health bar.
Yep, just burns the ghost there, saving the flash as well. So he's not going to be a complete sitting duck, but before we moused over, you can see Ninja was able to take off that passive from Malzahar and open him up to the combo there from Proxen. Now, Bjergsen pushing again. Make sure this gets into the turret because he has called Svenskeren over to the bottom side, and they saw Hecarim exit on top side. I know he's clear to do that without having to risk another summoner.
And this is nice by Proxen, actually managing to pick a number of high-value actual jungle targets. Gromp worth the most XP of any jungle camp, as long as you're not under-leveled. And Proxen, though, his CS number looks much lower than Svenskeren, is trying to keep up as best he can. Of course, then Single Gromp himself is clearly ahead here. Level 4.7, quite nice for him.
The struggle of keeping up with Nidalee.
It's pretty much impossible.
Plus he went for a gank, so that is going to cost him, plus reveal his position. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see if they can get that flash Braum that you talked about, Freak.
There's the Q and a Hakuho stun's going to be there. There's the trap underneath. He's going to get trapped up. There's the kill picked up. And just in time, Flash was only a minute away, but TSM found the opening.
They eventually punished the early blown flash of Hakuho. Biofrost gets in there, sets up with the exhaust to slow him so he knows he can hit
really
the Q
nice.
Afterwards. Meanwhile, top.
Looking for some damage, but a nice taunt. Hauntzer gets pretty far away, and Seraph will not land the slow either. So Hauntzer surviving the gank pressure. Bjergsen as well. Hakuho did not.
Yeah, he does survive the gank pressure, but this wave is in a terrible place for Hauntzer, and he's going to have a hard time fighting for that vision back. I guess they're just going to leave that pink ward and let him clear it out as Proxen goes back to continue gaining experience. He doesn't want to fall even further behind Nidalee and spend too much time in these lanes. But here's that replay. The flash there from Biofrost, plus the exhaust, everything, because they know no escapes there for Karma, and great secure on that kill. First blood for TSM.
Yeah, really well played. W flash exhaust was the combo to make sure it opened up. It does mean that TSM are now missing some summoners. Of course, Doublelift using his own flash to be able to land the auto attacks. And Proxen pushed out of his jungle, chased in! Oh, he's gonna get him! Svenskeren, nicely done! Continues to out-jungle Proxen and gets a solo kill.
Officially untilted.
Officially.
Svenskeren killing the enemy jungler inside the red quadrant. And Hauntzer actually setting up Seraph pretty low and prepped for a dive here as well.
Yeah, he burned his TP to get in. Seraph does not have his riposte up right now. Another good grasp hit, and this is dangerous. Of course, Hauntzer's hitting level 6 very soon, so he was able to teleport into lane and still have the chance to affect the others. This is going to make it difficult for Seraph. Does he TP back in and not lose lane, or does he walk back and lose a bunch of XP?
Well, let's take another look at this. Svenskeren's just like, oh,
and he gets the javelin.
Looky, what I found. Yeah, we know how that one turned out. He didn't have any previous wards up there. He was just going with a normal Nidalee invade, because last time they saw Proxen in lane, low health. You know, Hecarim, whenever I jungle Hecarim, I always like to get the Hunter's Potion, just because he burns through a lot of mana in the jungle, even if you're not taking a lot of damage. But it also does help you heal up after you do go for those ganks. Definitely one of the jungle champions that buys the Hunter Potion more often than not. Proxen, though, going for the early damage. Wants that early sheen as quickly as possible to have higher impact on his ganks, which have thus far been unsuccessful, you know, aside for getting a ghost out of mid lane, which is really low cooldown summoner.
I definitely agree. That summoner's already back right there, as Proxen was not able to return to the scene of the crime. And you gotta say, Svenskeren definitely outplaying Proxen so far in the jungle. 2 kills for him. We'll see, though, as Hecarim hits 6 with 1 more camp, maybe he can turn something around. But he walks the reward.
It's gonna be rough, yeah, because Svenskeren went for the early Tracker's Knife, obviously, on Nidalee, since he's doing so many invades. It's so ridiculously easy from this point on for Svenskeren to keep up the pressure. Proxen is going away for the blue buff trade right now, because he knows that Svenskeren's got too much control of his own jungle, and it's actually quite smart to try this. Hauntzer is coming over, but Envy have 3 members collapsing. The
nicely played.
The top triangle there for Envy, ensuring that they can at least trade the jungle. However, check back in on the levels here, because yes, you're able to get blue buff, which people tunnel on a lot. The small camps matter so much too, and Svenskeren's not only taking away the buffs, but he takes away both small camps on that side of the map as well every time he visits. And look at the vision. If you toggle TSM's vision right now, they have wards all over both sides of the enemy jungle. It's so easy for them to track Proxen right now. There will be no surprises from this tech run.
Ooh, maybe a surprise in the mid lane, though. Ninja with the blue buff getting plenty of damage on Bjergsen, who
Where'd he go?
hides into the fog of war. Ninja can't find him. Of course, there's no vision for Envy in TSM's jungle, so they weren't able to do the same kind of situation. And of course, also via tracking the Heck Room in that earlier Svenskeren gank, the TSM duo lane was able to continue to pressure the bot side. The bottom turret goes down in the heads-up lane. TSM back on form.
That the money there of the kill going over to Doublelift, feeding the first BF sword that he buys.
Oh, Ninja's going to be coming an egg, and this is going to be him getting dropped. Who gets the kill? It's Doublelift. Gets him with the net. Asher does not matter. Hauntzer just looks cool for a few seconds, literally, and walks away.
All right, that was okay. Regardless, though, because the bottom lane pushed up after they got the extra advantage in lane, that is going to be Infernal Drake as the first Drake to go down for TSM. Very great. That is the best Drake for snowballing ahead. And since TSM are out to that early lead, they're pushing up the lanes, going for the jungle invades. Exactly the one that they want.
The really nice stuff right here. TSM look like the TSM that was 14-0 yesterday. This is them in complete control, making a lot of great plays. Everyone firing on all cylinders. So far, so good. Hauntzer is getting dropped in this lane, though. You're seeing Seraph with a 20-minion lead. He's got a level right now as well. Those are all good points.
Oh,
but
Doublelift.
Oh, Doublelift. Well, this looks like Doublelift as well.
He's got a blue buff, though.
He's got a blue buff. He's also getting tackled into the brush. He's certainly going to die. The kill probably goes to Lod. Hakuho, don't scumbag him. He doesn't. Nice pickup there. And finally a kill on the board for Envy. And Proxen still holds on to Onslaught of Shadows, so we might see another gank soon.
Yeah, some much needed money and the bonus experience there as well. See if Envy actually move more pressure up to that top side. Trying to shove out bottom lane as quickly as possible actually right now. They don't want to give up too much momentum here. Biofrost has been spending so much time up on the top side, hanging around Hauntzer, since that was the lane that was getting bullied hardest for TSM. But no extra movement from Envy up there means that Biofrost, not much he can accomplish, and just leaves behind the pink ward to add a little bit of safety there. Svenskeren did not walk into that little brush by his blue buff, by the way. So the pink ward that Envy left at the blue buff saw him on the way. They should assume that he's coming here. Actually, that's why Proxen's moving into position for this counter gank, by the way.
And a nice preemptive ward by Svenskeren to make sure he can know if the Heck Room is coming in. Here comes the attempt of the fight. Of course, the dodge zone is up. Now comes the battle. 1 trigger, 2. Nice taunt away, and the tackle in for Proxen. There's the flash by Hauntzer, still on the chase, but the riposte not going to be enough. Heal comes in. Finally, Proxen gets the kill, but there comes the ulti in from Malzahar. That's one picked up, and Malefic Vision turns on to Seraph. Running out of health. He's going to try to pick up Svenskeren, and he's not going to get it. Nidalee lives, and Ninja is sad and alone and now dead. A nice snipe at the end for Svenskeren, saying it was all me the whole time. 6-2 TSM.
Yeah, a bit long of a fight there as Envy had their duo lane in base, so there were just more people on the map that could join for TSM. We mentioned Biofrost's little adventure up to the top side of the map. He just made a return trip, and TSM fully collapsing on that play, able to get extra momentum here in mid. Bjergsen going to try and get some damage on this turret. Decently difficult, though, with Ashe and Karma.
Yeah.
Move into the jungle instead here. Almost. Hakuho almost got that large chicken.
Close one there. So TSM don't really get any major objectives off the fight. They just get the plus kills, but we can watch the fight again. It's played quite well.
Right. So you know what Envy are thinking here. They're like, initially we've got 3 on the top side versus 2 of TSM. But because Hauntzer is able to delay for so long and make it all the way down to Bjergsen's loving arms, they're able to get the counter kill. And by the time Ninja flashes in, there's just too many members. There are more reinforcements for TSM on this side of the map. And Ninja, having flash to get in range, has no escapes.
Right, and Envy could have just left. They had the 1-for-1 when Proxen actually picked off Hauntzer and traded his life with the Malzahar ultimate. Both Ninja and Seraph could have said, you're right, 2v3, we're out of this one. No point to be in this fight anyway. And instead they overchased and they lost 2 extra kills.
And over chasing is more punishable when you don't have that vision. When there is this huge vision discrepancy, TSM can see all of your reinforcements that are heading towards us. They know where every member of Envy was. Whereas Envy, they have no idea what's going on with TSM because there's 0 Envy wards on the enemy side of the map or even in the river. So over chasing is not something that you can really do when you're behind like this, even though you feel like you have to do something to get back in the game. You have to do something to catch back up.
Right.
Gonna get punished a little bit harder.
Well, as it stands, Proxen wants to repeat gank down here. The wards actually have timed out, and Svenskeren, though he does have some more in his inventory, so he drops one out. And looks like there will be no defense. Just the threat of the 3 members of TSM is enough that Envy will not defend their own turret in the 3-on-3. And they just give away more objectives. TSM really sieging very successfully off of Doublelift's Caitlyn.
Yeah, and this comp is very easy to execute after they've got this great early start, plus the early Drake lead. They just have Shen split push. He doesn't even have to bully the Fiora here, just has to hold at turret, while the Caitlyn Siege and Malzahar, very secure mid laner to have a 4-man push with. You know, he's got great wave clear, and the Voidlings can block a lot of skill shots as well. They just have that 4-1. Start taking down the turrets, and once they build up a bigger and bigger gold lead from all the global gold from these outer turrets, they can easily keep up the extra invades on the jungle and continue to starve out Envy.
That's going to be tough stuff for the red team unless they find some way to turn it back around, but the vision control's been so good, those comeback fights haven't happened. There've been no sneaky ganks.
Yeah, and if we do look at it from Envy's perspective, which is going to be a lot more difficult, it is going to have to come from an Ash Arrow. You always want to fire those from Fog of War. They're going to have to use a lot of sweepers and pink wards that are on their own side of the map, you know, defensive pink wards, to try and find an area to fire the arrow from and actually pick somebody off while they're stunned so they can get a champion advantage before TSM can react. That's very difficult because Shen just stand united on whoever got arrowed. So.
Yes, yeah. TSM actually pretty well situated for dealing with everything that's happening right now, so can't feel too bad as a TSM fan right now. And for what it's worth, if you're also a Phoenix 1 fan, as much as you cheered for TSM's demise yesterday, you now want to cheer for TSM to win.
The hipster, oh, we're the only team to ever beat TSM this year.
but also because if Envy wins his match, P1 are out of playoffs.
Yeah, true.
And Envy must lose all future matches if Phoenix 1 wants to make top 6.
And so Phoenix 1 has to win every.
And they also have to beat Immortals and Cloud9.
Yeah.
Like it's a long shot, of course, for that squad. But if you're one of those people who are now suddenly,
hey, if you beat the #1 team,
why not beat 2 and 3?
There you go. TSM gonna get that second Infernal Drake. That feels good as well.
Yes,
Stacking
it does.
those up. Holy moly.
Stats on stats for TSM. They're going to push into the mid lane. The flash will be to catch up on a Ninja. Goodbye. Double gets done, does not care. And here comes Proxen in to make the 4v5 happen. Under turret, fears Double back up, but he did not be the one to pull aggro. It's a quick takedown. Biofrost now has the turret on his attention. He's going to be okay with this one. 2 kills picked up for TSM. Going to knock down the turret as well without much issue. And TSM continue to dominate this game.
Yeah, and now there aren't too many intricacies with playing Malzahar, but one is trying to get your Malefic Visions on the target right before you ultimate them with the Nether Grasp, and even with that flash play where you want to grasp them as quickly as possible, Bjergsen does it. You know, quick E right before the R, able to thread that one in for maximum damage, and TSM pull off a very clean dive there, even though they tank the turret almost the entire time.
Yep.
Too far ahead to really matter here, as Envy were a bit too spread out. There it is, flash ER, and they go in for the execute. Doublelift does take the arrow, but yeah, Shen ultimate comes in on top of him as well, and Proxen gets exhausted, so not much they're able to do. Man, the Voidlings and second Malefic Vision zoning and taking half of Seraph's life as well there.
Yeah, for those who saw during that clip, the first half of the dive, there was no turret aggro pulled. It's one of the, to talk in the future a bit, one of the changes planned for 6.16 maybe, that's been discussed on the forums, if you keep up with that whole world. Basically, he wasn't in turret auto attack range. We're going to talk about that in a bit, because Seraph now in a 1v2 gets all the heal off on a Hauntzer. Now he has a reinforcement from Proxen looking for a bit more damage, but can't quite pick off the tanks. TSM will run away, but no kills picked up for that attempt.
Yep, they were able to chase him off and at least save Seraph's life, though. Plus, Hecarim is working towards the Trinity Force, almost gonna get there. Problem is that there's already completed items, 2 completed items on Svenskeren on the Nidalee far ahead of him. You have to say it's 2 extra because Hecarim here not going for jungle item first.
Right, not even an enchant.
Usually when you see that, though, you do start out with the early Hunter's Potion so that you have the extra sustain. Because there's a lot of sustain that you get for building your actual jungle item.
Right.
If you just have this one piece here, it's significantly less. We're well past that stage, though, of really mattering, because Doublelift on the Caitlyn's about to get his Infinity Edge, and TSM are well into the mid-game as they want
6,000 up, their 4th turret kill gonna drop right there, and Envy have only picked up 2 kills all game long. No objective, nothing special for them. TSM in absolute control right now. Okay, to finish the quick thought on the turret, because I don't want to leave the thought hanging. Just real quick, since there's nothing going on at this time. Yes, so proposed change about a month from now in 6.16. Basically, Ninja did not get a call for help on his turret because he was outside himself of the turret's aggro range, although TSM were under the turret. The proposed solution is TSM would have pulled aggro there, because Ninja's like, what the hell, why is this turret not helping? They're right under my turret. We'll see if it comes in. But that's it in action right there for those who are unaware of the change. For those who haven't heard about it, now you've heard about it.
Yeah, more clearly for, like, if the tower diver is in turret range, you would assume the turret's going to hit him if he's attacking somebody on that team, right?
Right.
Even if the defender's outside of turret range.
Yep.
As of right now, not exactly.
As of right there, yeah. That entire kill for Ninja had no help from the turret. And so that's why they were so tanky, it felt like, is they didn't even take damage from the thing they were diving. Unlucky for Ninja, but that's how it happened, and TSM now looking beautiful up 4 turrets.
All right, Team Envy, now it's time to tell everybody, let's farm for late. We have EnvyUs, we'll try and wave clear. Everybody bunker down inside of our secondary turrets and try and hold out. Actually, Seraph is going pretty aggressive on Hauntzer down there, but look at that trade. We didn't get to see it, but Hauntzer got a good, maybe a fifth of Seraph's life without taking any damage here due to the shield and dodge zone.
And Seraph's only down 400 gold. He's equal level, basically tied in resources. Of course, yes, the farm is on one side, the turret kills on the other. It's close to equal gold. And Seraph's actually not getting that much done into Hauntzer. You can see Hauntzer putting up the shield almost in time. That time he didn't block it on that activation, but
yeah, Hauntzer does know that he doesn't need to make anything happen in that 1 versus 1 though. He's just waiting for the 4-man squad of TSM to collect their extra money out of the secondary turrets with the siege, 4-man siege. They are able to do that, and Hauntzer just bides his time, staying high health, not getting any risky engage down there with Seraph. Seraph also, because Hauntzer's not trying anything, is able to lifesteal back up with the Ravenous, so both of them just kind of trading minion waves at the moment. Seraph does have to back off, though, because no defensive vision, and TSM stopped showing their 4-man squad in the siege.
Exactly, the mid lane siege was completed, so beware, enemy TSM members are afoot. They might come for you. So now 7,500, the gold lead for TSM, double Infernal Drag. Next one's going to be Cloud. Extra speed to get around the map, and yeah, I guess the Envy plan is farm for late, as you said. They've just got to hope nothing happens for a while, and that seems very unlikely. TSM, one of the most aggressive, most punishing teams in North America.
Especially since they can actually do Baron quite quickly with this TSM squad. Yeah. So you have to be worried about that. You want to hide behind your turrets and farm for late and just clear minion waves, but Baron would add so much, because TSM already have Caitlyn and Malzahar, plus Nidalee poke coming through on the siege. If the minions are also buffed up by Baron, the siege is very, very threatening, to say the least.
And we'll see if that's going to be the case right here, because TSM going to keep trying to control the ward vision. Right now, though, Envy have managed to sneak a ward in and around the Baron pit, so it will be the quick Cloud Drake pickup. TSM don't need to lose any time in grabbing that one. Quick Rift Scuttle pickup, because why not? And now onto the Cloud Drake. Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. I mean, out of combat move speed can also help you dodge the Ash Arrow, which is one of the few ways that Envy do have of getting back in the game with an Ash Arrow pick and trying to kill someone quickly.
Yeah. Kobe, didn't you get to the memo? We shouldn't talk about Cloud Drake anymore.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, you're right. Kobe, go for it.
You're the one who does it all the time.
Good thing it's not me and Jat. You're allowed to talk about Cloud Drake. The officios over in the audience groaning. Sad that we're giving it the respect it deserves. All right, Hauntzer, Seraph, separated by a wall. Apparently a very noise-canceling wall. They couldn't tell that was going on, really. But now Seraph losing a lot of health. Look at the damage Hauntzer actually has. And it's time now for the duel to work. He's trying to get the damage output. Can't get the last one, which means no heal comes through for Seraph.
Yeah, I like this 1 versus 1 cam. Both of them are just like, yeah, walk away. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't really care. Let's walk away, guys.
Dispassionately, like, yeah, you don't have the damage.
Just checking in, because Seraph there, he didn't want to chase because he was low health, and Hauntzer didn't want to let him get the last vital, so both agree to, in action. Plus, as we said, Hauntzer doesn't really have to do anything in that 1 versus 1.
Right.
He's just trying to hold that pressure, has to stand united. TSM have full control of this map. It's almost insane. Ever since like 6 minutes, they've had wards on both sides of the Envy jungle, and they've kept those wards up for the entire game.
Yeah, great play by Svenskeren and the rest of TSM as they keep moving forward. 4-0-4 on the Nidalee. Perfect score for him. Kept the ward control up. Bjergsen gets the passive poked off. And Envy hoping to defend top lane tier 2. Next strike up is going to be Mountain in about 5 minutes time. Seraph tries to get control back of the bottom lane, but he's really not building a minion lead any more than he was before. Hauntzer's been able to hold up to him quite nicely, and well, Shen's going to show up to a fight faster than Fiora will.
That feel when you're TSM and you've scanned the enemy jungle so many times there are no more wards to clear.
Yeah.
You just keep wasting your scanners. Like, have they been back out here? No, okay. Just checking.
The combined
still no vision. Here we go,
Ninja.
though. They ghost.
Running away. He's going to flash. Nice wall. Kalen's going to hit him a little bit, but he's going to get himself out. Oh, you are too risky with that one. Caught by the nether grass, picked off. Bjergsen using the Q to give himself vision to land the R. That is mechanical knowledge of your champion. Beautifully done.
Wasn't even the Malefic vision.
Q to give vision for the R. That was awesome. Bjergsen is good at Malzahar. I'm pretty sure there was no ward. That was just that play. Kobe, you were mentioning number of wards killed. There are a combined 4 wards spotted by the 3 sweepers of TSM.
All right, well, there's one more ward killed inside the Baron Pit as they demolish it. I don't know if there will be a Miracle Seal. Proxen could go try and suicide.
He's the coach. Miracle couldn't steal it. Proxen's going to hope. Su3 doesn't help on that one. Ooh, Lod barely gets away from the Javelin. And okay, Proxen, it's on you. He is unstoppable during the ultimate, and there's no Mal's ulti. The silence comes in. He's not going to get it in time. Nicely taken up by Svenskeren. Gets the takedown, gets the kill on Proxen as well. TSM now up 10,000.
Yep, and now they do have that Baron to crack the siege and get through the inhibitor line. We will see how big this Baron power play is for TSM, because it's time for the ultimate defense here for Envy as they try and hold off. Let's check in Doublelift. Yeah, Doublelift does have the 3 items now too. He's got Rapid Fire Cannon, Infinity Edge, plus the Hurricane. So he's ready to roll. And there it is, like we talked about already. Easy corridor there to line up the wall. Good guess there from Bjergsen. And Ninja, not so stealthy.
Not so stealthy, sadly. 0-4-0. He's got Seraph around. Oh, but a blue trinket spots him. Uh-oh. Time to run, Envy. Seraph takes the wrong route out. He's going to get caught up there. Is a dead Fiora, and here comes the rest of the chase. TSM are in. Ninja going to get caught up. There's another snipe. There's the kill picked up. Hauntzer getting one for himself. Another takedown under the turret means 3 dead already. TSM have no cares in the world. 13-2. Envy, honestly, just shy of a perfect game. 2 champion kills, all that separated them from this one. And TSM going to probably walk this one into the base. Inhibitor's going down.
I mean, they said, hey, maybe that one loss will help TSM refocus. They look like they've refocused fairly quickly after last night. And game number 1, according to plan.
This game looked about as clean as their first game over Phoenix 1. You always have the chance of a comeback, but Proxen goes down. The Nexus turret's gone as well, and a 27 swift minute victory. Once again, the golden Nidalee in the fountain as TSM takes game 1.
Yes, 7-0-5 for that golden Nidalee, Svenskeren. Getting